Okay.
Brandon, you look great this morning.
Yeah, you said you went live again last night after we did your Chaotic Good Sports.
Yep.
I, on the other hand, was too tired to shower. So
yeah, that's fair.
That's why I look like this.
I think you look great.
If you're listening to GPS via podcasts, you're really missing out today.
Oh yeah. Oh,
my sex appeal does not come through.
Woo!
Your ear.
It's radiating through that microphone.
Thank God I'm married.
Oh, baby. We here.
We steer.
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. And this is GPS. It's a beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It is GPS.
Hey,
it is.
It's Spotify Wrapped Day.
It is.
And we got our first tweet. Let me bring it up.
Okay.
Hold on.
Are we sharing our Spotify Wrapped like we did that one year? And I had to explain to everyone why my number one song was the really sad song from Up because I was trying to write Coach.
Oh.
You'll get to that episode in season 4.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my God.
JC, hope you have an excellent birthday. Let's go.
Twitter, you are an absolute piece of shit.
What do you mean? The product has gotten so much better, Brandon. Much better.
I like this
search engine so much better. Functionality. It loads on time. There's no bots. It's
this
great.
Thing with Twitter now where it refuses to load.
Yep.
I swear to God, I have to refresh that dumb fucking app so much.
Yep.
Elon, you're an idiot. Here we go.
Oh, be careful.
Number 4 and their top listened podcast, Grossi Perna Show. Josh, you were first. Congratulations. You win our respect and nothing else. But that's hard to get. I mean, from me anyway. I respect very little in this world.
Hey, why don't root for the Packers? You know where Rodgers came from. Just saying, Robert. You got an option.
Yeah.
Got an option.
We are a podcast. Spotify, iTunes, wherever. If you want to listen to this show, just so you know.
Do you think people on the International Space Station listen to GPS?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
They're trying to access actual GPS, but
they keep on finding
we get in there. What I did when we set up our podcast deal, I'm like, okay, this is great. Give us all the normal stuff that come with the podcast, but also I want laser, sonar, microwave technology.
Yep.
And anybody who uses any sort of GPS gets a signal of our show. And that's been made possible by the great people at NASA. So thank you.
If you're locked, like, you know, like in your car and you don't know where you're going and you're just like, oh man, like I'm lost in the middle of the woods, right? There's a sketchy area and you're just like, I need my GPS. You can listen to football podcasts. I mean, that's, I think, the most helpful thing, right? We'll calm you down. We'll get you through it. So we're navigating you in the right direction. Just head north.
We are. Oh, we're number 4 on somebody else's list too.
Let's go.
Den Brew.
Oh, that would not go well. That would not go well.
Let's yeah, look at that.
Let's go.
Right below, How Rude, and above, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Hell yeah.
And 2 Boy Meets World's podcasts. Holy crap.
That's right.
We found our first Boy Meets World head.
There it is, KJ.
And was it the last stream? Somebody's first crush was Topanga?
Yeah.
It's all coming.
That was on Monday. Full circle. Dude, I feel like we streamed on Monday. I feel like that was like 4 days ago at this point. And it was it's a day and a half. Yeah.
I will show us. I do want to show the funniest thing I've ever seen before we do the actual show.
What is your Spotify Wrapped, by the way? Everybody's posting it. Everyone's
I haven't opened Spotify yet. I don't know. It's gonna be our top listen to song is going to be probably a Simon and Garfunkel and Harry Belafonte. Stuff Carmi and I listen to basically every night for most of the year. We've shifted out of those gears, but I'm guessing it's in there.
Well, Echo, with Perna's rules, the Broncos will be on the power rankings this week. They will be on there today. They just won't be on next week because
that's right. No sample size. All right, here we go.
That's
Dude,
right.
I thought this was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life because one, Scooter Magruder does not swear in his videos.
No,
we do clickbait. We try to be.
Oh my God! Yes, I saw that.
Scooter got his video demonetized. Limited ads for saying the R word. I don't even want to say it right now.
No, you can't say the R word, Brandon, because then people who are listening to the podcast.
Scooter just throwing around the R word left and right.
It is the old name of the Washington football team or Commanders.
He said Redskin potatoes.
Yes, there you go.
Got in trouble. It is by far the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. Like, of all people, Scooter getting demonetized. Limited ads means demonetized. Like,
yeah, it does. Well, it's interesting too, because like when I interviewed Mark Murphy, who played for them, right? Like when he was on the team, like that was what their name was. So he won a Super Bowl with them. So he just like says their name and is like, yeah, this is who they were back in the day. And like, I was like, oh man, I wonder if I'm going to get hit by that. I think because it was a 40-minute interview, it just like snuck in there and it was okay. But yeah. That's a thing. That's a life that we live in. So because people are talking about like bringing it back and like that, but they're just allowing it for like old logos and old merch and stuff like that.
We just need an official ruling on it. We need a Native American council to hold a live press conference for us and just tell us, do we like it or we don't? Because you see both. You see like, no, this is part of our heritage and it's something we actually liked. And then you see the other part of it, like, no, it's an offensive term was kind of misused and like, whatever. I don't know. Like, I just want one consensus. That's all I need.
You're never going to get one consensus in the world, Brandon.
I know. I can't even get a consensus on Trevor Lawrence hit.
Hey, AOC. Yeah. Should have been QB1. I mean, he's going to get those opportunities, but and he wasn't the problem on
he
Friday.
Played well. AOC, that was one of his better games too.
Agreed.
Imagine if he has a target outside of Bowers and Jacoby. Jacoby Myers underrated, I think, but
Jacoby Myers is good. Yeah, 100%, 1,000,000%. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. The playoff race is heating up. We have all the playoff scenarios for Week 14 and kind of what's going down. We'll talk about that. On top of that, I mean, I don't really know if we have any more to talk about with the Broncos-Browns since we wound up streaming that game, and that was covered.
I have got plenty.
Oh, you do? You got
I
more?
can talk about that game for the next 3 weeks. Tom, what are you talking about?
Just got to ride that high, baby. Well, now you got stress-free football next week.
No, yeah, we're on a bye.
That's
like, what do I do?
Thing.
Oh yeah, keep working.
Yeah.
Get to watch all the other. I enjoyed the like having just the Broncos play Monday night. I found Sunday so much more enjoyable. That Lawrence hit happened, so I got a video up about that. But like, just being able to actually kind of watch everything and not just have a window and then you go to live stream mode and then you go to I got to get a recap up about this game. It was fun.
No, I agree.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm curious because like a lot of the games this Sunday are pretty stinky. Like they're not great. So I'm like looking at the early. I'm like, I don't even know which ones I'm going to stream at this point. All I know is tomorrow the Detroit Lions lose.
Oh man, we'll see. I will say this.
All I know.
Obviously, the Packers, they're fighting for playoff spot, and you're coming off a good game. Defense is playing better. And on paper, in terms of record, it is a more important game for the Packers. But I think in terms of like Detroit,
it's a huge game for them to hold on to that 1 seed, dude.
Bucking like the narrative of their injury problems right now. Like if they win this game after having, 17 guys on IR or whatever, and all these key players banged up and hurt, if they win this game against a very good Packers team, I actually think this game's more important for Detroit than for Green Bay.
Well, I think it's because the Packers even if they win this particular game, it's going to be a struggle to win the division, right? Like they're going to need the Lions to drop a few. They're going to still need to beat the Vikings. Like they need them to drop a little bit. So it's still going to be a challenge. I think the Packers are still going to be vying for a wild card spot. And even if they lose tomorrow, they're in a good position to do so. But yeah, I agree in terms of for the Lions, if they lose this, not only does it open the division for a team like Minnesota and potentially Green Bay, but the Eagles are right there hanging out. And that could be a problem to try and secure that number 1 seed. And I know we were talking about that on Monday. I think having to go to Philly and play the Eagles there, that would be significant. And that's going to be a pretty big disadvantage for the Lions if they have to do that in the postseason instead of, being able to relax at Ford Field. So I'm just saying, I think there are a lot of stakes for tomorrow. And it's not necessarily for like, oh, who's going to make the postseason or not. I'm imagining both teams are going to. It's going to be more of for seeding and like potential home field advantage or even for the division. It's an important game tomorrow night. I'm super excited. And I got tagged in this so much. Oh my God, I got tagged in it so much. And there is a consensus that, yep, that is going to be the next clickbait punishment. And I knew it from the trailer because I saw it was on McAfee. He saw it on McAfee and I didn't watch the clip because I was like, I don't really care. And then like I saw the trailer like by itself and I was like, all right, like let's just see this. And
I have never seen a single thing make a football player look more like an asshole than that trailer.
It was, whether it was the flashing of the words that was like, it was like loser, friend, lover, hated, like villain. It was like, I was like, oh boy, 1.
Oh my God.
And then 2, I think just knowing what happens, because this was filmed, like last year and like, continuing after that, it's, what happened. Like when it's this rah-rah, like I'm looking to come back and do things I never did before. And the Jets suck. Like the Jets aren't making the postseason. Yeah. So like that's a tough pill. But yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna have to watch it. And it's 3 episodes too. Like, are they gonna be hour-long episodes? Because that's gonna be 3 hours long. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Sam Morrill really had the best tweet here. The inspiring story of the guy who bounced back from a devastating injury to do a worse job than the novice quarterback he was replacing.
You know what? Like, and I feel like there's aspects of it. This is going to sound weird. And it's not even because of how outspoken he has been about other things. I truly do not care. It's more of like, if this came out like 5 years ago, man, I'd be jumping right on this and being like, okay, like, yeah, I'll see it because it's my quarterback. But I could not give a flying crap about this documentary at all now. And I know I'm going to have to watch it. I know I'm going to have to.
Oh my God. Just that image right there. Oh,
like, listen, I'm all about like finding yourself, like, especially like experimenting with like different stuff and like opening mind. And
I've done it. It's all stupid.
That's just rock. Just rock.
Look, no. Thank you for believing, Green Monkey. Rodgers actually probably needed some this new age shit to mellow him, to calm him, to open up his heart a little bit. Okay, but oh my God, like I just can't imagine watching something like that. Like if I were sitting there as Aaron Rodgers right now, this video happening of me, I can't imagine going, "Yep, let's put that in." Put it in. Keep that in. Put that in the documentary, and let's have the world watch this.
Well, Coleman, I think
Netflix
tweeted it out and was like, "Wait a minute. So did he go to Egypt because they didn't want to interrupt like filming? Is that why he didn't show up to like camp?" And yeah, I don't know, man. I think I
want to watch this so bad.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
I think like
hey, what a fake for the kitty.
Players coming back, fighting through injury.
Dope ass story.
Especially season-ending ones. Tons of respect, right? It's
Absolutely
not an easy thing to do. It's physically, it's mentally taxing. I don't know why that started playing. But when you get to Aaron Rodgers' point of his career, 20 years in the league or 18 years, whatever it is, Super Bowl win, multiple MVPs. It doesn't mean that recovery isn't easier for him. But like glorifying like his recovery when he's got the greatest medical treatments and like advantages like on earth on
you like the access to that like yeah, I get you.
It's I don't think it's as dramatic as we want to make it out. Now he's an old man. Fighting through that shit's hard. I get it.
Sure.
I haven't exercised for, a little over 2 weeks now. And I honestly, my body hurts because of it. Like there's creakiness. Like I was going to bed last night. I was like, why does my shoulder hurt? I was like, probably because I haven't been moving. So I sympathize for that. But like
that's why.
The just glorifying his comeback to me is, and because it didn't work out, it's comedy. It's comedy, and it's gonna be perfect. And I want to see this whole documentary. I might watch it twice, Tom. You're gonna get punished to watch it. I might willingly watch this thing.
You're just gonna join the watch along when we do it on a stream.
And I don't hate. I like Aaron Rodgers. I loved that man for a long time. Now he's kind of weird to me. I embrace the weirdness.
Sure.
I like when he says weird things. I'm all about it. But
like when you I'm sorry, there's a clip in there where RFK is like, you ever thought about doing politics? And I'm like, is this like so the kickoff to the Rodgers cinematic universe?
Yeah.
Like, I'm putting together a cabinet.
Remember, it's like, where did those rumors come from? Oh, because they were shooting a documentary and he asked him about it on camera. That's how that came out.
We live in the dumbest timeline. It's
we do. It's so stupid.
Oh my god.
We're all fucked, dude.
We're
so fucked.
That's it. We just watch football and
pardon my French.
Listen, Terry, tomorrow Lions break out the all black uniforms, beat the Cheesehead, and clinch a playoff spot. I'm glad that they'll be wearing all black because they'll be going to their own funeral tomorrow. That's right. When the Green Bay Packers, for the second year in a row, march into Ford Field and beat the ever-living crap out of the Detroit Lions. That's right. Am I getting too cocky? Maybe, but it's fine because why not? Why not?
Oh, wow. Is that a pancreas?
No, it's a Packers win. Appreciate you, Derek. Should be a great game, though. I'm really looking forward to it.
No, okay, Max. This is pretty funny. Max, of course, modding here. Yep. Patreon member.
Yep.
Love Max. Max currently sells mattresses in the Buffalo area. We every time, not every time, but like when I do my Bear mattress ads, he's like, you are hurting my livelihood. So Max, this is slander against a great company, and I will not stand for it. Will not stand for it, Max.
I mean, you know what's actually funny? Speaking of mattresses, because my buddy like reached out to me. He's like, have you ever bought like a really good mattress? And I was like, you came to the right person, because years ago, like literally like 2.5 years ago, that was like the one purchase. It was this chair and that mattress that I was like, okay, I'm going to spend money on this because I sit so much, and like, the 3 hours of sleep I get a night, I want to make sure it's restful. God, it's the greatest mattress I've ever owned in my life. I love it.
Yeah. There's 3 things, in my opinion, you shouldn't go cheap on. Yeah. You're right. Your chair. If you got to sit in that thing all day, chair, the thing you sleep on, and food.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's so many better foods out there, and maybe some of them cost a little more, and people are like, it's too expensive to eat healthy.
Yeah, trust me, it is.
Not if you buy fruits and vegetables. Well, you're in a weird category. You don't get to be part of that.
That's not true. I mean,
you're in a weird category.
Well, I'm just a plant.
You're vegan. You're in a weird category.
I am.
I'm not saying it's not healthy. I'm just saying you've got too many restrictions.
Jason, happy freaking fracking birthday. Let's go.
Happy birthday.
It's an amazing day. Come on now. Chargers win, Chiefs lose to the Steelers and Broncos, then win the division. Probably won't happen, but hey, what if? It's possible. I mean, it's possible. Yeah, the Chargers should have probably been an honorable mention in my power rankings. I didn't even put them on there, but like
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't even put them on on
Wow. Like I was just writing about the Chargers.
Yeah, I think they're still a good team. J.K. Dobbins being out, I'm still like kind of about, but also that was an ugly game. I mean, the Falcons gave them the game by throwing a cajillion interceptions, but was not the prettiest of games, and the Falcons are not a good football team right now. So I was like, all right, we take it.
We'll get into this. I feel like the playoff race right now is really, really boring.
See, I disagree completely. Are you saying just because it's like locked in of like a lot of the teams?
Yeah, it's boring. It is boring. Well, this will be a good thing to discuss then.
It's true. And Zombie gave me a hundo.
$100 for a bribe?
Thank
you, Zombie. Let's see here. Put Tom's P for the D on a cursable number. Oh, even if you decide not to, the uncertainty will affect Tom and make him second guess when to pee. Only on Friday will he know for certain. You must be a Lions fan, Zombie. You must be a Lions
Zombie.
fan.
What is this garbage out here? First of all, Perna won't do that.
Johnny John John!
First, I might be tempted. It's all the power rankings. Oh, I'll do you one better, Zombie. I will erase one of the numbers, one of the double up numbers, and I'll just put P there. I'll put P there.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
It's a request.
Yeah.
Now you're putting me in a bad position, Zombie, because Tom saved my team. You're asking me to stab the man who saved my team in the back.
Literally saved your team with my magical urine on Monday night. The world saw it, Brandon.
Yeah. This is tough, Zombie.
The world saw it.
You gave me $100 though, so I can't not honor it.
If you put P or P for the D on that curse wheel and the Broncos make the postseason, I will pee all the time for the opposing defense. Every single time. And you'll watch. And after interception or fumbles or 3 and outs or sacks, then you will look up to the sky and say, why? Why?
Zombie, I might have to send you that 100 back. I don't know what I'm going to do.
No, you can't buy my urine. No, it's...
I will sell Tom's urine before he does.
You can't sell my urine.
When he goes to his new home, I'm going to build a special secret thing in all of his toilets that funnels urine into a tank under his house.
Please don't.
Then I'll call my friends at Benchwarmer. We'll send a truck out there,
like a septic tank truck,
collect his thing of pee, and I will sell T for the D. T for the D.
That makes it sound like it's tea.
It will. It'll be a tea. We'll dehydrate your pee.
Please,
we'll put it into bags, and you will be able to steep Tom's pee.
Please, no. Everything wrong. Everything so wrong.
All proceeds from that will go to any sort of diseases that affect the urethra or bladder.
Could be like
you want people with bladder problems to suffer, Tom? Is that what you're saying?
I think they're already suffering before you're selling my urine. We could just do a fundraiser, like a normal thing.
Nope. You're T for the D.
That's gross. Listen, that Johnny texted me about that on Monday, going like, not even joking, we're the closest we've been to a Broncos Packers Super Bowl. And it's just because both teams I don't think it's gonna happen, but good God, that would be the greatest stream on earth. It would be the greatest thing ever. We would have to find a way to get there and stream. We'd have to figure it out.
Yeah, that would be insane. The Broncos, I think they're a team who can win a playoff game. And I think we saw how fragile their roster is on Monday night.
Yeah.
Riley Moss, not in the game. And you put in Levi Wallace and Jameis Winston throws for 500 yards. And that's a defense that has been consistently great all season outside of struggling against the Ravens. So they're one injury away from, losing in horrific fashion. So
sure. Yeah. Anytime Levi Wallace has to see the field.
I'm not watching that Chiefs movie.
Coach. Oh, yes, you are. If I'm watching that Aaron Rodgers documentary, you are watching that Hallmark movie. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
You know what I'm listening to right now, though?
GPS, because we're doing the
Turtle Beach, today's sponsor. Bam, 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 bam. Well, okay, there's no music playing in my Turtle Beach Gen 3 Stealth 700 headset, Tom.
I can't even see it. It's so stealthy.
It is. It is. Give me that sweet code. Yeah, GPS over at Turtle Beach. The world's greatest gaming headphones.
Has it made you better in Halo?
Yes.
What's your KD?
I don't track it on a week-to-week level.
You were just talking about it on Monday.
Yeah, it's a game to game. I had 2 20+ kill games same night.
Wow.
I thought I was in heaven. I
All
thought
right.
I died.
Okay.
And if I were in heaven, these are the headphones I would request from God himself as I gamed.
Oh, because you're still gaming in heaven.
Yeah, what else are you going to do? That's a lot of time to kill.
Yeah, I guess so.
Might as well do it with crystal clear audio.
Do you have every
Immersive
console in heaven,
surround
or
sound.
is it just like a still exclusive kind of thing?
What's that?
Do you have every console in heaven, or is it kind of just like an exclusivity kind of
I'll
thing?
stay
Like just-
loyal to Xbox.
So no Sony still. You're missing out on some great games.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
80 hours of battery life in these bad boys, Tom. It keeps the fun going long after Christmas
Sounds like a different kind of ad.
to New Year's,
Hmm?
to Valentine's Day,
Well,
to St. Patty's Day,
like 6 days from.
to April Fools,
Oh, okay.
until the draft.
Oh,
Cinco de Mayo,
Whoa,
Flag
whoa.
Day,
Hmm?
4th of July.
Yeah.
This fun will not stop.
Won't stop. Can't stop.
As
Won't
long as
stop.
you got your Turtle Beach headphones. Get the ultimate immersive gaming experience with Turtle Beach today. For a limited time, head to turtlebeach.com to get access to their site-wide holiday sale. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. You say
Heaven.
heaven.
Yep.
God sent us.
That's it.
Please support the show. Tell them we sent you. Say big. Don't delay. Happy holidays from Turtle Beach.
There you go. There you go.
My heaven is a Turtle Beach.
Is it a just so that is a little confusing? Is that a headset, or are you saying a beach that has turtles on it?
Both. I
So-
talk to the turtles with the headset on.
That'd be pretty cool. If with Turtle Beach headsets you could communicate with turtles. I don't know how
yeah.
like helpful that would be, but it'd be cool. You know,
It'd be
I'd
so
enjoy it.
cool.
I enjoy it. So pretty dope. Pretty dope. Oh, I heard decent things about it. Yeah, the Star Wars series came out. Yeah, I'll probably watch it at some point. But I do want to talk about a couple of things here. One, we do have all the playoff scenarios that are for this week. On top of that, Azeez got suspended. Shocker, said no one ever. In which, he got suspended for 3 games, which I don't think is surprising. And we were talking about this on Monday. And there's like this weird discourse online because it seems like there's no nuance, which shocker. But it's like so black and white. Either like Azeez is the devil and like it's a dirty hit and he should be suspended forever. Or there's like, nope, it's on Trevor Lawrence and he should have slid earlier and what an idiot. Like it seems like there's 2 of those camps there where it's like, could Trevor have slid a little bit? Like, sure, he could have done things differently, but taking a forearm to the face, still can't do that, 1. And then 2, and I think one of the reasons why he's also suspended because it was in the letter, was that he went back to the Jaguars sideline afterwards, right? Because a bunch of Jaguars players jumped on him and it started a whole brawl. And then as he was getting ejected, he went back to it and just continuing the fight. And considering all the stuff that has already happened with Azeez, I mean, there was no doubt that he was going to get some kind of suspension. And they ended up with 3 games.
3 games. He will appeal. It's the problem now, too, is you got Tom Brady coming out and blaming it on Trevor Lawrence as well. So, nice. Good job, Tom.
Which, I'm sorry, let's just take a big old pause here. And I think that Tom Brady, again, I haven't listened to his commentary because I'm usually streaming. I think he has a lot of great insight as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time on the game. But I also think it's very ironic that someone who bitched every single game to the referees to get every single flag called is now standing on this high horse going, well, hold on now. Maybe it's the QB's fault. And I want to make a caveat there because I have complained on this show about like Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, or any quarterback fake running out of bounds and then staying in. I do think there are a lot of protections for QBs. And while, of course, that they're the money makers for the NFL, that's why. I do think that there are maybe too many protections. Like when they are running, they can get hit, right? Like there shouldn't be as many, especially when they're out of the pocket, what have you. And refs are even throwing those flags when they shouldn't. And like those fake slides or fake going out of bounds, I do think that those should be penalized, whether it's with a hit or whether it's, with an actual penalty. So I think that it's just funny that you do have a quarterback who is known. I mean, I watched Tom Brady's entire career, who is known for complaining about every single call and no call. Now going, well, maybe this is on the quarterback now.
Yeah. And there's literally a clip of Tom asking for a flag after Azeez Al-Shaair grabbed him by the neck.
Mm-hmm.
There is a video of him asking for a flag, and even though he grabbed him, it is far less egregious than what Al-Shaair did to Trevor Lawrence. So it is to let you bring up a good point. That would be like Phillip Rivers coming into your home and being like, you got too many kids, dude. You got too many kids. What the fuck are you doing? Like, it is the most asinine shit I've ever heard. And I think
Jordan Love Edward, that's all that matters.
I think we're in agreement with what he's trying to convey, and what, like, I've seen Kurt Benkert defend the hit too.
Sure.
Kurt, you're wrong. You are so fucking wrong, Kurt. With this play, there's like 100 other plays you could use your argument for that actually makes sense. This one is not the hill to die on. This is not the one to support. And if you want to have a conversation about like the nuance of quarterback sliding, that's fine. That's
Absolutely.
like maybe it is better if you don't allow QBs to slide, because then everybody knows what's going to happen. But this has been around so long that players know quarterbacks are going to do that.
But this is also why this narrative is complete and total bogus. Of now we're going after QB sliding. I'm sorry. Let's just go back like a month and talk about how everybody in the media clutched their pearls and said, oh, Tua has to slide more, because if he doesn't slide more, he's going to get hit and get knocked out of the game. So miss me with all this fake outrage of, oh, now it's a problem that QB slide, when we've been talking about Tua this entire time going he needs to slide more. I'm sorry, we can't do it.
And if you want to add to your point, just go to the last time we saw a hit like this was 2017. That was that Flacco hit. So that's been 7 years.
Yeah.
It's been 7 years since we saw a hit like this egregious when a guy was sliding. And the Flacco one was closer. Okay. And it's going to happen every now and then. That's part of the game. Like, that's what I think people like. There's too many rules that have, been around, like safety, and people who love football for the brutal hits, the brutal nature of the sport, get a little annoyed with it.
Yeah.
But when and people are like, stop showing it in slow motion.
Just the way.
When I watched that thing live, I immediately jumped up and went, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like in real time, I was like, that is late. And he let up at no point. So it's you can try to debate how long he had to make the decision. He knew the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Trevor started to slide so early in that play, and he still hit him as hard as he could. He didn't try to let up. There are instances where a quarterback does slide late, where the guy's already coming in and contact happens. And we've seen in those situations, even in those situations, guys go to let up, but it's too late and the hit happens. I'm okay with that. I get it. This is not that play, though. It's not.
You and I are usually on the side of defense here.
Yeah, I wanted Patrick Mahomes to get lit up.
We complain about roughing the passer calls all the time, right? Because especially after the Aaron Rodgers penalty, right? Because when Anthony Barr broke his collarbone, then they changed the rule that you can't fall on top of a QB. But that's gravity, right? And again, when you're looking at defenders and hits, I usually am going to side with the defender because you can't stop physics. You can't stop gravity. It's usually really difficult. And if they slide and they hit him, and you're like, crap. Yeah. This is a forearm that is going to the head. It's not a good hit. There is no let up whatsoever. And at the end of the day, you go, all right, it wasn't great. And then there's a brawl, and then he continues the brawl, and now he's suspended.
And somebody tried to compare it to Kareem Jackson last season with the Broncos. And it's different. Kareem's hits were not on quarterbacks either. They're on receivers and tight ends, guys trying to catch passes. So, it's the quarter, like whether you like it or not, there's a different set of rules when a quarterback's out there, doing his thing. And they do become runners, and they're playing by the same rules a runner gets with the option to slide.
But it also depends on which quarterback you are. Because if you ask Justin Fields in Chicago, my man did not get a single flag that was thrown at him, and he got his head ripped off.
No. I go back to the Broncos-Panthers game after the Super Bowl when Denver beat the absolute living piss out of Cam Newton.
Yeah.
They hit him so hard, so many times, and never got any flags.
No.
And that's because Cam was a big dude who ran with force. And he wasn't provided the same protection because he didn't look like he needed it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it was fair, right? But
and you also look at the outcome of that play. Like, Jaguars players got ejected. You know what I mean? Like, there is punishment on the field at the time, too. I was like, none of this can happen. And the most important thing, of course, Trevor Lawrence is okay. But I find this discourse was so damn weird this week of like, it was Trevor Lawrence's fault or it was Azeez's fault. And it's like, no, like, I think there's some nuance there. But at the end of the day, you can't justify a forearm to the head.
It's a bold take to say it was Trevor Lawrence's fault.
It's a time. Perna got a fitty. Buy a mattress. Buy a mattress from Max Fund.
I will go buy one from Max one day. That's hilarious.
You got to get it now. It's supporting the other Patreons, and it's just it goes both ways.
You know what? If I do go get a mattress from Max, he better not.
Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
Are you implying that you're going to go buy a mattress and Max is going to grab your penis?
He would try.
All right.
Max got those sneaky hands. Everybody knows that about Max. Sneaky hands, Max. Take him to the mattresses.
All right.
Yeah, well, and one more last thing about this.
Sorry, Max.
You can be guilty as an NFL player. You can be guilty of making a bad hit.
Sure.
And as bad as that hit looked, it is part of the game. It is going to happen sometimes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Even like if you've played the sport, you know that there's a time to make a decision. And I think even Will Compton came out and said, no, he definitely had the time to make the decision. He played linebacker. I think I would trust his opinion more than even a quarterback in this situation. But sometimes you're going to make just because you have a second or two to make that, sometimes you're going to make the wrong decision.
Absolutely.
Everybody's done that. Everybody's done that in a athletic, competitive situation.
Absolutely.
And you go, I fucked up.
Yep.
You don't have to be somebody who then goes and tries to attack that person's character on top of that. Yeah. That's where this shit gets weird, right? And sure, he's had a history of bad hits and, poor judgment on the field. Doesn't make him a shitty dude off the field. So it goes from criticizing the play. Then there's all these people who want to go and pile on the person, which sucks. And we see it happen, not even for dirty hits or bad hits. It just happens in sports.
Fumbles,
and that's why you have Texans GM Nick Caserio coming out in his press conference going full defense mode for his player against the league and having to defend. And I like that from Caserio. Like, he's going to bat for his player, and I think you want your GM to do that to keep, the morale of your team high and be like, oh yeah, this guy gets it. He's got our back no matter what. So it's like there's levels to it, and it's going to get taken too far every single time, and it's annoying.
You go from, and this is, let me be very clear too, like this is every fan base, like it's because MVS, right? I remember this clear as day. MVS fumbles a ball against the Colts. The Packers wind up losing that game a few years back, right? The amount of death threats that guy got for fumbling the ball, I'm like, this is disgusting. Ty Montgomery having the same exact thing to him. And that's what you're talking about, right? Azeez getting death threats. And all. This is a very, very unfortunate aspect of it, where it's like pile on and just be like a nasty human being towards that person.
Yeah.
And I could see that that's why you're going to have Caserio come out and defend his player and be like, no, this ain't it. And again, I think you said it perfectly. He was wrong. It was the wrong decision to make. Thank God Trevor Lawrence is okay, right? So great. Got suspended 3 games, and we're all moving on with our lives. And we're going to keep it moving. That's how it should go. Have a nice day. And if Azeez is in this situation again later down, in his career, there are going to be further consequences, right? Like that's because now this suspension is on the books. You talked about, previous hits and things like that. Now, here you go. Here's another mark that if he does this again, it's a problem. Talking about the Packers, like look at Quay Walker. Quay Walker got, dude, he got ejected a bunch of times, right? For pushing coaches and all that stuff. And it was like, oof, all right, yeah, he's a young guy and he made a mistake and he screwed up and he had a lockdown on social media. And thankfully, though he was really good this past Sunday, I'd like him to play a little bit better. There hasn't been an incident since those two, which is great. Yeah. Because players are going to mature and what have you. But again, you can make the wrong decision. He got penalized, that he got punished for this. Yeah. And now we're moving on.
Yeah. I think also,
it's going to taste terrible, Willie.
Side note here. Anytime Tom Brady defends a play like that, he has to go back out on the field and take the same hit. Dude spent the last 10 years of his NFL career with nobody hitting him hard because they would get penalized and because he was a whiny baby little.
Well, he got hit in the AFC Championship in the head, it's got the shoulder, and it was like, penalty. So
I was going to say one more thing, fudge, and then I thought about Tom.
Yeah, we got to wait like another year or so, but pretty much, it's 21 draft class, not great for QBs. No, it's so good. Were you going to say another thing about Brady? Penalties, hits.
I had another point, but I can't remember it, so I will say fuck Tom Brady.
All right, there you go. I do want to talk about because someone brought in Mike McCarthy before.
Oh, wait, hold on. This is not what I was going to say. But the Tom Brady announcer criticisms.
Sure.
Like it's.
I legitimately have not listened to him commentate.
I've listened to parts and we don't listen to the whole thing. And I think Bill Simmons, who is obviously a big Patriots guy, he came out saying like it's not really working or whatever a few weeks ago. But I forget what game it was, but I was listening to Tom Brady and I said like he doesn't have the voice for it. We've talked about that a little bit. Also, he doesn't have the right cadence. Do you remember the Sergio Dip moment when Vance Joseph was making his coaching debut for the Broncos?
Yes.
Right? Vance and Sergio's he's speaking a second language, right? So there's this weird sort of like, I think, pause between words where he's like, and he is out here having the time of his. Tom Brady, I was listening to him. I was like, he is reminding me the way he's talking is like Sergio Dip. Like, it's like he should be speaking so like smoothly.
Sure.
And I don't know if he's not comfortable, if that's just his natural way of speaking. And I don't think it is, because if you listen to him like in interviews and stuff, it's not there. But when he's trying to call games, he has this like odd sort of cadence with.
And he might be trying to find like his presentation, right? Like, because as you know, I mean, dude, like just talking about from our standpoint, not comparing us to Tom Brady in any way, shape, or form, but like, dude, first streaming games, like you have to find your voice with it. You have to find like what works for you and how you're going to continue with it. And Brady's been doing this for, 13 weeks now. It's going to take time. Again, I have not listened to it, so I can't give you either or. So
Tom Brady does not have a speech problem.
I think it's just, again, it's finding that voice of just how are you going to do that? And again, there are some people who are really good at it. There are some people who are not so good at it. And then there's times it's going to take time to develop that skill, because it is.
No, I'm not trying to be like mean to Brady. I'm just talking about something I noticed. The way he's talking through some of these plays, it was odd. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So I think it's more of, I'm sure, I mean, considering he signed a how many year deal with Fox?
$300 million deal.
By the way, like that is an insane amount of money. Yeah. Like an insane amount of, and I think that also, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not looking at a game going, oh man, Tom Brady's commentating it, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. So I'm just saying, no, gives away holy water mixed with the mana from St. Nicholas's bones. No, I'm not giving away my pee. I'm not selling my pee. No.
Make people come and pray to your pee. That's what you need to do.
That gets weird real quick. You know what? It's just weird. It's not even real quick. That's just whoop whoop. That's nope. Hey, on. So it's $1.99. So it's $2. All right, and then YouTube takes 30%. Mortgage payment. Here I come.
There you go.
Come on.
There
Come on.
you
Hey, there you go, Carl. I don't have $100, but here's a part of the reverse bribe to not put P for D on the curse wheel.
Whoa, interesting.
Sorry, Carl. Doing God's work there. Doing God's work.
I respect the effort, Carl.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I do think the playoff race is currently boring.
Maybe no. We'll see. All right, let's talk about it. Yeah, let's get into it because we're going to disagree here.
What do you find exciting about it?
I think the potential postseason and like these matchups are really exciting. And I think that I'm more excited to see. I'm going to talk about the NFC North for a hot second. They have to play all their division rivals still. And considering how those games have gone, I don't think that there is a guarantee for seeding. And I think seeding is going to play a huge factor in the playoffs this year, especially within the NFC. So I think like that excitement of how teams are going to either deal with injuries, like if you're the Lions and having to play the Packers, the Vikings, the Bears, dude, it's not a given. And who knows, they could let the division slip away. You have the Chiefs, for example, looking at the AFC West, they got to play their division rivals and all those rivals have played them pretty damn hard. And so that I think is going to be really interesting to see if the Broncos can maybe sneak up there, if the Chargers can sneak up there, that maybe the Chiefs lose the division. And they still make the postseason. I think those possibilities of where the seeding is going to be, I understand if you're saying that a lot of the teams are locked in, it could make it for a little bit more boring. But I think because so much is up in the air for these last 5 weeks, yeah, dude, I'm pumped.
Maybe this is more AFC specific then. This is why I don't find it interesting.
Panthers, always.
This right here.
Yeah.
None of these teams are competitive except for the Bengals, and they're pretty much out of it.
What about the Cleveland Browns? They just went toe-to-toe with your Broncos.
Yeah, and they lost. They lost. If they would have won, then this chart gets a lot more interesting. But from this point out, I don't really give a fuck about seeding. Like, that's not interesting to me as a football fan.
I get you.
Whether like the Chiefs are at home or the Bills are at home, whether we're flipping the Steelers and the Ravens or whatever, I don't really care, because once the playoffs happen, sure, home field's nice, but the Chiefs showed us last year, like, don't matter for them. Wherever you play the Chiefs, it's going to be hard. It would be nice to have the Bills at home again.
Mm-hmm.
That's not as exciting to me as having at least 2 more of these teams, and then the Dolphins and the Colts being at the same record as Denver, or a half a game behind the Broncos, where every game for these teams going forward is like bite your nails.
So sorry.
Like, I want like the Colts and Broncos to be in a position where maybe after they get off their buys, if the Broncos lose, they flip-flop spots.
Sure.
Where you can flip a couple times. Like, to me, that's what makes like an interesting playoff race down the stretch. And on the NFC, you have that within the NFC West, where their games
it's a mess.
are important.
Yep.
But none of those teams are super interesting to me.
Sure.
Like the Bengals, if they could have
defense
won
was anything,
1 or 2 of those crazy games, like, they would be such a fascinating team to be worried about right now. So like, that's where I'm like, at least from the AFC, this seems very boring moving forward. Damn it, Toro.
It's Toro again. He's like, you're still wrong. And now the NFL's wrong too. I feel
again, Kareem wasn't hitting a quarterback. And if I saw Kareem do that, I'd be like, he's going to be banned for the rest of the year, and I can't defend him.
Kareem Jackson did against the Packers, and get on out of there. Get on out.
Yeah.
Get on.
Also, Kareem was a Texan. You should be defending Kareem.
To your point, though, so the way that I'm looking at this is, all right, you're a Broncos fan. Let's just say you get you're the 6th seed right now?
We're 7. We're 7
okay.
seed.
So you're the 7th seed. Who would you want to play as, like, who would you want the 2 seed to be?
I want it to be the Texans.
Yeah, I don't
Let
think
me play the fucking Texans.
I don't think
man.
they're going to be the 2
That
seed.
team sucks right now.
But
all
in
the
terms
players
of,
would be suspended by the end of the game.
I think if the Chiefs were the 2 seed, I feel, oh man, that game could go either way. Like, that's what I mean. I think that you're going to have most likely, at least it's trending that way, 3 teams from the AFC West, right? You're going to have two teams from the AFC North. I think if there's divisional matchups, especially in the wild card round, oh baby, like that's going to get real interesting because then it's a complete and total toss up, right? We had the Ravens and Bengals a couple years back, and like that was really close. You know, that like long touchdown return. I think that especially in the AFC for the West and the North, and when you're looking at the NFC North, if you have a Lions Packers, if you have a Lions Vikings, or you know what I mean? Like there are so many different opportunities for the playoffs to get so screwed up, and even juggernauts or teams that we go, oh, they're really damn good. If they have to play against division rivals, and I said this about the Ravens last year, the Ravens, well, they had that bye week. They had the Steelers in the postseason, and you had the Browns in the postseason. I was like, they are praying that neither of those teams make it to the second round. Because if they do, I think the Ravens have a chance of losing. Yeah. And I feel the same way here about the early parts of the postseason because of how divisional games have gone specifically this year. And they're so wild and they're so completely unpredictable. That is what is super exciting. So that's why I think seeding for me going into it is being really scrutinized. And I think for the NFC, there's a lot too with, I think there's a huge difference between going to Philadelphia and going to Detroit. I think there's a huge difference. So that's what I'm excited about.
I don't think there's a big difference between playing in Detroit or Philly. I think those are just two teams you don't want to play.
Sure. I'd rather play the Lions than the Eagles right now.
Yeah, it's because the Lions have 17 guys on IR.
No, I mean in the postseason too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean postseason. I'd rather play Lions. Yep. I would. I feel more comfortable like in the dome. Like, yeah, let's go. Jordan Love can let it rip.
I like it. I would rather play the Chiefs than the Bills right now in the playoffs.
That's what I'm talking about.
The Broncos played the Chiefs competitively. I'd rather play the Steelers in the playoffs than the Ravens. Because the Ravens, I just think, are a matchup nightmare for Denver, right?
Sure.
When you're talking about who you want to play, it doesn't necessarily mean I think the Ravens are better than the Chiefs. But the way the Broncos play football, that matchup's better.
I agree.
I do want if it can be the Steelers, if it can be the Broncos and Steelers, that's the game I want for the storylines. For I think the Broncos would have a better chance to beat the Steelers than the Bills. But good God, give me Pittsburgh. And I think to get Pittsburgh, the Broncos got to jump the Chargers in seeding. Mm-hmm. So I don't think the Bills or Chiefs are letting up. So we got to beat the Colts, then we got to beat the Chargers, and then maybe we can get the Steelers wild card weekend.
God, I hate players flopping. It's the one thing I hate about soccer so much. Oh, it drives me insane. It drives me insane. And that, like we were talking about, I think that was the Giants game years and years ago where the Giants just flopped on the field when they were on defense. Like it was like near the end of the game. Oh my God, it was horrific.
Flopping's embarrassing.
It annoys me so much. But yeah, that's why I'm excited about this playoffs. Because I agree with you in terms of the teams for the most part, especially in the AFC, are kind of set. Like maybe the Colts, if the Dolphins go on a magical run, which I don't know if they're going to do, but maybe. But the NFC, like the NFC South, that's not decided. The NFC West, that's not decided. The NFC North, there's going to most likely be 3 teams from there, but we don't know what order that's going to be. And the NFC East, dude, who knows? Maybe Jane Daniels and the Commanders can wind up punching their ticket. You know, kind of, they're going to be able to hold on to a playoff spot. So I agree, Andy. Bo, you got to go. Bo. Got to go. Bo Burnham. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. You ever watch Burnham?
Bo. Oh, Bo. Have I watched? Do I watch Bo
Burnham? That's why every single time you say about Bo Nigga, Bo. That's it.
Okay,
That's it.
Andy. Your advice has been taken.
Okay, there you go. The T-Law. I mean, again, there's going to be varying opinions about this, not to jump back to this hit, but the way I'm looking at it is like, yep, that's a proper punishment. You get 3 games. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, again.
What the funniest part about defending the hit, too, is Trevor got a concussion because of it.
Yeah.
The point of this is to make them safe.
Mm.
Right?
Yes.
This is the definition of an unsafe hit.
Yeah.
Dude is fucking concussed because of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's not good. Caleb, featured every single week in every NFL fans reaction. I don't have enough room in my living room right now. That's the problem.
Don't worry. Buffalo all the way this time.
12 characters. Said drop raw. Yeah, listen, stop, drop, and roll. That's it. That's what QB should do. All right.
I would roll easy. Instead of sliding, just go to the ground and roll.
Yeah. Just
I would just not get tackled if I were a quarterback.
Before we talk about playoff scenarios, super duper quick, Dak Prescott coming out and saying that he thinks that Mike McCarthy should be given a chance and would be very happy for him if he got a contract extension. And I completely agree with Dak Prescott. I could not agree more with Dak Prescott.
Wow.
I think you run it back with McCarthy. Give him you don't want to just do a test year. Do at least 2 years, right?
So,
2-year deal. Give it to McCarthy. See if they can run it back with this team. And I think, maybe for the Cowboys, it can be their year next year. Don't change a thing. Win enough games to not get a top 5 draft spot. And I think you're really starting to cook.
Yeah. I guess you're saying Dak supports McCarthyism then.
Yeah, that's fine too. That's fine too. Yep. That's great.
Go for it, Dak.
Just run it back. Just run it all back, Cowboys. Come on. Come on. Oh, yeah, Adam. So it wasn't accidentally hit. So the idea was that he rolled up on him and then rolled his legs. So that was the issue. But yeah, got crucified for it. And I was like, no, that's a football play.
Yeah.
That's a football play. He didn't mean to hurt Jordan Love. And there's where was it?
The hit on Jordan Love?
Yeah. The first week 1. Yeah, I don't think that was a dirty hit at all. Now, there are, dude, I've seen clips, right, where you do have players that are turning legs and stuff like that, on QBs, and that crap has no place in the game. That's just gross. This, yeah, again, it's just, I don't get it. The NFL goes, yep, suspended 3 games. Have a nice day. You can't go back and fight people. It's a bad hit. I do wonder if he did not go back and fight if it's 3 games. Maybe it's just
maybe not. Maybe it's just 1.
It's just a game.
Maybe it's 2.
So that's what I'm saying. Some people argue that QBs are taking advantage of protections. Yeah, well, also saying that's not what T-Law was doing. Yeah, well, I mean, it's what Perna said. QB sliding has been around forever. And up until literally Sunday, we have been complaining when QBs don't slide, especially young QBs. And we're like, why are you diving? And then we got this complete 180 where we're saying, oh, no, now they should just dive all the time. Well, which one is it? Which one should QBs do to try and protect themselves? Because the reality of the situation is, 1, it's completely subjective based on what's going on within the play. 2, freak injuries are going to happen regardless. 3, defenders are still going to hit players and make the wrong decision or even make the right decision. They just can't stop their bodies. And that's why it needs to be a case-by-case basis. And when we make these blanket statements of, well, now all QBs, they have to slide or all they have to do is dive, it's a non-argument because it legitimately is a play-by-play or game-by-game basis.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
If it would have looked like he let up on the hit and just taken the flag, it would have been fine. But he didn't let up.
Nope. And that's it. All right, so let's take a gander here. So we got the Bills and the Chiefs, of course, clinching. You got the Bills clinching their division, the Chiefs clinching a playoff spot. All right, so Kansas City, they can clinch the AFC West if they win. So they're going up against the Chargers on Sunday night, which should be a really fun game.
Ooh, a little Sunday night football.
I mean, Brandon, I'm just saying, the Broncos have a bye. If you want to stream it, I'll be streaming.
Oh, let me think about it.
Yeah, it's all good. Peas on the curse wheel. It would melt. It would melt. All right, here we go with the Lions. So if the Lions, they beat the Packers on Thursday, they clinch a playoff spot. They don't clinch their division because the Vikings are right there and the Packers are right there. That would essentially kind of lock the Packers out of the NFC North title, but they do clinch the Lions. They do clinch with a win. So how many picks until Cousins is benched? You have 1 or 2 more bad games. But again, they're still vying for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
So that's tough. At least they didn't pay him $100 million. Sorry, what was you saying?
No, yeah. I mean, I was just agreeing with you.
Yeah. All right, so they get it.
Penix.
Or Atlanta loses, or there's a Seattle-Arizona tie. Or Atlanta loses, Arizona loss. Again, it's super easy. It's win and in for the Detroit Lions.
What's hard about that is Cousins was the reason they lost last week. I think you give Cousins 1 more week. He literally had to just make one less terrible throw, and they probably win that game. So
Hence why I didn't put the Chargers on there. Yeah.
ooh,
I think
probably the Packers, but we'll
Packers
see.
too.
Ask
that
me in- I
Depends
got
on
to know the
seeding.
state of my team
Yeah.
going into the wild card.
Mhm.
Packers can survive more bad things happening to them. The Broncos, I don't know if they can.
A mini spin on the small wheel, a mini curse. A little baby
Oh.
curse. A little baby curse.
Oh, interesting.
All right, so Vikings, they clinch the playoffs, gross, with a win, and if Seattle, Arizona ties, or if they win and Arizona loses and the Rams lose. So, a little bit more complicated. No gimme for Minnesota. They're going to be playing, who the hell are they up against this week? I don't even know who they're playing. Oh, the Falcons. Oh, it's the Kirk Cousins revenge game. Yes, it's the Kirk Cousins revenge game. So,
Ooh.
that should be interesting. Should be interesting. It is a joke, Brian. It's true. It's true. Eagles, again, a little bit more complicated. So they clinch a playoff win. If they win, Atlanta's got to lose, and Seattle, Arizona ties. Wow, that Seattle, Arizona game is big.
Yeah.
Philadelphia wins, Atlanta loses, Arizona loses, and Rams lose. I feel like if the Cardinals lose and the Rams lose, that allows a bunch of teams to potentially punch their ticket this week.
Yeah. For their playoff berth.
Yeah.
Because, it is him.
Oh, yeah.
It all goes down to the NFC West or the NFC South and West there for everybody.
Yep. Yeah. And that's it. So
Those are the only clinching scenarios.
yeah, not a ton of clinching scenarios in week 14. Like, that's exciting to me. Like, the most straightforward one right now is winning in for the Lions. And I think if they lose tomorrow, then it's going to get real interesting.
Yeah. Look at the Broncos, 75%. Oh, yeah.
That's looking pretty good.
That's
Steelers
amazing.
99, Texans 97, Chargers 93, Ravens 96.
Yeah, see, look at all that guaranteed, basically.
Yeah,
dude. Like, if from this point on, if the Steelers would miss the playoffs, that would be insane.
Be wild. I mean, they do have a rough schedule ahead of them, but prime spot for Jameis Winston's eyes.
Yeah,
gotta go in the purgatory. Hey, we'll be seeing you in a couple weeks for Sunday Night Football, baby.
Yeah.
Keep scrolling down to the NFC.
Oh, that was my point. That was my point from earlier.
You found it. Can you go to the NFC real quick and scroll down for that same graphic?
Yeah. Jameis Winston.
There you go.
Where's the NFC? There we go.
3
So
games
we were
in 4 days.
talking about players getting attacked for personal reasons when they do something wrong on the football field.
Sure.
The one man immune to that is Jameis Winston.
That's accurate.
He could make a billion mistakes on the football field, and he's the only guy who will be praised for it.
I think also part of that argument is also that he is not going to be their permanent starter.
It doesn't matter. He is immune to criticism for poor play.
It's true, Steven.
He threw 2 pick sixes, and people are like, "I love watching this man play football." It's because he's exciting. It's a fair spot to be in.
Sure.
That was my point.
All right, here we go.
I've never
Lions.
seen somebody throw 2 game-ending pick sixes and be applauded for it, and I do like that. Okay, sorry.
Lions, no, 99%. Eagles, 99% chance making the postseason. Then it goes to the Seahawks at 48. If they win, that bounces up to 76. So the Seahawks, they have one of the most important games of their season against the Cardinals. Seahawks were able to get a win a couple of weeks ago against the Cardinals. That is going to be a really, really important game. And it's still, if they win, it's still at 76. Falcons are at 58 right now. If they win against the Vikings, that goes up to 75. And if the Vikings, they're at 99% right now. Packers sitting at a cool 97%.
Yeah.
I like that. Commies at 71. 71%. Getting there. Let's get in there.
Yeah,
Holmgren over Shanahan. Hey, Holmgren's a legend. Come on now.
Yeah, but Shanahan's better.
Holmgren's a legend.
Mike Shanahan is
sharp in the Hall of Fame, by the way.
better.
Already got a fitting. It's Monster Face.
You sick mustard man.
Mustard man.
That's fine. I don't care if we lose in the first round. I just want to be there.
Yeah.
I think there's a misconception that we've got hope We just want to get into the dance. Next year, different story.
Poser.
USA.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
USA.
Airplane. So, I'm saying. Kareem Jackson. Oh, yeah, we were going back and forth about that Kareem Jackson. Kareem Jackson was getting into some hot water last year.
Yeah, but was Dobbs sliding in that hit? I don't think so.
Gotta eat him. Real quick, before we get on out of here. Tomorrow night.
Just one last time.
Oh.
The reason we weren't having this discussion is because it wasn't as egregious.
It's true, Ricky.
There's some bad hits. You can say that was clean, that was dirty, it's close. This one wasn't close. Wasn't fucking close.
Tomorrow night, Green Bay Mother Loving Packers taking on the Detroit Lions.
You would be.
In primetime. Oh! Perna, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? I would want, dude.
Don't tease me.
So let me ask you legitimately: if you could only win, I feel like I know the answer to this, but you can win one playoff game and choose if it's the Steelers or the Chiefs in that wild card round.
Let me beat the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Easy. That would be like the greatest dream of your life.
Yeah.
They're just like, I don't care what happens, dude. I would love to see Broncos Chiefs or Broncos Steelers in the wild card round. It'd be so much fun.
Can I put the cherry on top? Tell me. The reason the Broncos beat the Chiefs is because of a controversial call at the end of the game. a ticky-tacky roughing the passer on Bo Nix.
What if it's a blocked field goal?
If the Broncos block the field goal?
Yeah.
No, I want it to be actually the worst penalty ever called in NFL history in favor of the Broncos. I want the Chiefs to guzzle down that medicine and see how they handle it. I want to see how level-headed they are.
How would
when
you
they see their
handle
team
that?
lose because of a penalty? That's all I want to see.
What if it was such an egregious? Would you defend it, or you just be like,
No, I wouldn't. Yeah, no, I wouldn't defend it. I'd just be like, sucks, doesn't it? Sucks, doesn't it, guys? Sucks.
All right.
Yeah, I want it to be like what would be the worst penalty you could give them?
I feel like it's a roughing the passer, like you said, or like a really bad PI call.
Yeah.
Like defensive pass interference.
This is what
like,
it is. It's 4th and 1 for the Broncos.
Mm.
No, it's 4th and 4. Broncos got to go for it.
Oh, here we go.
It's encroachment on the Chiefs' defense, and they don't encroach. They don't move. They don't slip into the red zone. It is a phantom encroachment. People are looking at the play like, what are you calling? Free 5 yards. Broncos run out the clock. Game over.
Yeah. All right.
That's what it is.
Brandon's like, that's going to get me through the week. That's going to get me there. Who do you got winning?
People fantasize, like some men fantasize, like have sexual fantasies.
Sure.
I fantasize about the Chiefs getting penalized in unfair ways. That's my kink. That's my kink.
That's what really gets me going.
Yeah.
Who do you got winning tomorrow night, Perna?
Oh, man.
12 players on the field, but there was 11.
Oh, God, yes. Love it. I'll put that in the spank bank for
And
later.
they can easily override it, but they're like, no, we won't.
Yeah.
We won't. That's
You know what? Oh, man. Is it in Green Bay or Detroit?
It's in Detroit.
I'm going to give it to the Lions.
Okay.
I agree with your thought, though.
Sure.
Like I think you said the Packers are getting the Lions at the right time. And I think you're right. I think you're 100% correct on that. But if I believe the Lions are going to not just get to the Super Bowl and win it, I got to stick with them this week.
All right.
They've got to show me they can beat the Packers this week when everything's kind of stacked against them. I think the Packers should be almost favorites in this game.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to give your team as much credit as possible so somebody doesn't say I keep talking shit about the Packers.
Listen,
we'll see.
I can't wait. I can't freaking.
It's a great game. This is a great game for Thursday night.
It's gonna be exciting. What do we say, Perna? What do you got coming out, buddy?
Power rankings. Got to write it though.
Hell yeah! There it is. There it is. I got predictions coming out. I'm gonna be filming it now, so that'll be out later tonight. We hit 750,000 subscribers last night. Appreciate the hell out of you. That road to 1 million. Oh, we are on it, my friends. Also had Brandon Perna on Chaotic Good Sports last night. We had a great talk. We raised over $3,500 to fight kids. So
Nice. Thank you, guys.
that is
Thank
going
you,
to
guys.
be out. That fundraiser will be running until Monday as well. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Andy Reid. Now we're talking. Andy Reid's just standing there. He's like, what? Gone. But folks, we appreciate the hell out of you. We'll see you real soon. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is JBS. And you have been navigated.
And you've reached your destination.